Rogers TV St. John's.
Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? It's your boy DC, and this is Out of the Fog. We go right across the province and beyond, talking to all the cool people, and I'm so thankful to be hanging out tonight. And of course, we have The Diary of a Psychic Vampire, the title album from the one and only Mike Fisher. He is Newfoundland's punk wizard. He's going to be hanging out with here tonight. And also, Nerd Mom Kitchen Adventures, our girl Kelly. You cannot miss her show. So cute, so good, and talks about all of the ways we need to be thinking about the food we eat. But to get things rocking right off the bat, it's The Diary of a Psychic Vampire. I got a couple of these albums to give to you if you want to DM. Until then, it's Mike Fisher. Give it up.
Seems happiness is in short supply. I'll take it from you all tonight. If you miss me, you'll start to fade. Don't worry, you'll feel better in a few days. Now you're feeding me. Can you tell me what you see? Hold on, blood, I need just you. I'll feel your happiness slip away from you. Don't worry, you're so sad and blue. The emotions I take from you, you won't believe. Well, bye for now, you feel relieved. Now you're feeding me. Can you tell me what you see? Now, blood, I need just you. Oh, what you want, you intensify what you need. I can't provide what you're feeling. Ooh, I sympathize. I am the endless mirror. Oh, you'll disappear. You've got for sympathetic cure, but realize much to fear. To me, you'll start to fade. Don't worry, you'll feel better in a few days. Now you're feeding me. Oh, tell me what you see. It's not blood I need, just you. What you want, what you need. Yes, what you're feeling, it comes inside of me. You want what you need, yeah, what you feel comes inside of me. I'm the endless mirror. Oh, you disappear. Offer sympathetic ear, but realize much to fear. I'm the endless mirror. Offer sympathetic ear. Oh, sympathetic ear, and you realize much to fear.
Welcome back to everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and it's punk, baby, served hot. And I'm with the man himself, the one and only Newfoundland's, what is it?
Godfather of punk.
That's right.
Yeah,
I couldn't have
yeah.
said any better myself. Mike, how are you?
I'm good, sir, and good to be back on the show. It's good to be walking around without a mask.
I know, we made it.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fashion.
Oh, thank you. Yes. I kind of wanted to go with sort of a Victorian Edgar Allan Poe look.
Yes.
To match the graphics on the record. So
Yeah.
that's a new moniker of my look.
You know, and I'm holding this beauty piece right here. And just for the benefit of y'all listening at home, it is Diary of a Psychic Vampire. Let's
That's
talk
not
about-
me.
Isn't it?
No.
Are you sure?
No, I'm a nice guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's this cat?
Well, we all have them in our lives. People who drain energy. You know, either relatives or friends, and they're like piece of work, and you just, oh, they're coming over. Oh, God.
do they
And then when they
know?
leave, no, they don't.
I know why.
Or they thrive on it.
Is it our job
and
to
they
tell
do
them?
know. Well, yeah, but then they go away crying, and
Yeah, we
then
don't
you
wanna
feel
hurt
bad,
them.
and they've sucked more energy out of you.
I
so
know. They're going to call you later or send you a text.
Yeah.
You gotta, like,
Yeah, well, how
defend
could
what
you do
said.
that to me? You
I know.
That
It's
sort
like,
of thing.
"Where? You know
Yeah.
who I think I am.
I know.
So, yeah, I met a scattered energy vampire.
Yeah,
Right?
so that's sort of the look, and then I stumbled across a show. What's the one? Oh, I can't even remember the name of it. The three vampires living together.
Okay.
What We Do in the Shadows. And the fourth guy is a psychic, an energy vampire. So, but a psychic vampire is more of a plays on your thoughts more, whereas an energy vampire makes you tired.
I thought a psychic vampire was like, he knows he's going to suck your blood.
Yeah, well, it's not blood sucking; it's energy.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no blood involved.
And where'd you get the artwork? All
The
you?
artwork I did it, yeah.
you're
My
a
wife
bit of
designed
a-
the cover, but I
Oh.
did all the concept and put the front together and
That's
stuff.
amazing. Whose hand is this?
That's mine.
Wowee. So, you know, where do ideas come from, and why did this theme of energy vampires and people who take energy, where did this come from, and what did this culminate into this recording?
How did it come?
Yeah.
Well, the title song is fairly new. Some of the other tracks, like Is It Against the Law to Kill My Neighbors? I've had for a while, because we used to live next to a house filled with addicts, and it was rather disturbing at times. And but Psychic Vampire was fairly new, just thoughts running around the head and interacting with people I meet. And as you know, as we age, we don't need that type of person in our lives anymore. So.
But it's hard because we know them,
Yeah.
we love them, they owe us money.
Yeah.
They have these great ideas
Yeah.
that they can't wait to talk to us about.
Yeah.
So, like, it's interesting as a theme because I'll tell you how many of us can relate
Yeah.
to having people around us who are not adding to the situation, and yet we keep them around. What's your advice?
Arm's length and meet in public.
Yeah. And also, looking at this EP, ultimately, there's 6 songs on this.
Yes.
And you say that some are new and some are old.
Yeah.
So describe that journey in terms of putting together an album and what that means in terms of, the selections that you decide to put on and the last minute where you think you're done, but guess what, a song comes out of nowhere. What's that like for you?
Well, the last song on the disc is Seeds of Hate.
Yes.
I had a totally rewritten song. Kind of sick of U.S. politics now. So that's sort of the genesis of that one.
Okay.
But I didn't like it, so I rewrote the whole tune. New lyrics and all, and so that was like the last minute idea. The only reason there's 6 is I didn't want to put filler on it. I think they're all very strong tracks. So, it's best to have a little, you can charge a little less for it too, and every song is good. A lot of like overfilled CDs now, 16 tracks, and half of them you don't listen to, you
Well,
skip to the next day. So.
Didn't I step in that because myself and my bandmate put out an album
Yeah.
and we had 18 songs on it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was for our own
Yeah.
efforts, but you're right. EP land and all killer, no filler and fewer tracks so folks can actually wrap their heads around the composition is where it's at now.
Yeah. The Time Is Right Night of Fireworks. The Night
love that
of Fireworks was
title.
actually a Hemingway song years ago.
Oh.
And it was more about prostitutes because it was written for a rock opera in the 80s.
Okay.
But I kind of took that element out and just like good things happen, the time is right. And so the music's pretty well the same, but the lyrics have changed a bit. So.
Well, I bet you. I hope that you dropped one of these off in both of your neighbors' mailboxes.
No, the vampires don't need it. No.
So I'll tell you what, being a musician as you are, being someone who's always been at the forefront of the punk scene, who continues to write and be inspired and create music, what do you have to say to folks out there who love music and maybe had put their hand to it in the past but have drifted away? and they have all this music and life experience and desire inside, what do you say?
I would say record it, and if you enjoy doing it, don't stop. That's what keeps me going. You know, like I have no aspirations to be world famous, but I love gigging, and we got some shows coming up, and it's you know, it just gives me. Now that I'm retired from the station,
I know.
I have a lot more
Full
time to work
circle.
on things. Yeah,
That's amazing.
So-
You know, my mom says when she retired that she just ran out of time, and now she feels like she's like
Yeah.
flat out doing all these things, and she feels just she's active as ever, but in a different path. And isn't that the same for you?
it is. Yeah, we. I want to say that's not total punk though. That album. It's
Tell me more.
more hard rock. It's almost like Genesis meets Tragically Hip
Whoa.
combined. You know,
I
so
love
so a little
Genesis.
pop edge to it, but
Yes.
more guitar rock. So there are a lot of Reaction fans. The punk band I was in, the Slime were the first, but
Yes,
we were.
they were.
We
The
went a little,
Slime.
yeah, the good old
But
Slime.
Reaction had quite the name around
We
as
did.
well.
And we played a lot more, and you know, almost got signed. So I keep that element. We do some Reaction songs. The band, my back. I don't want to say my backup band, but Bob Davis plays drums. Jeff White from Hemingwell plays bass.
Wicked.
He used to play guitar. And I said, Jeff, I'm playing guitar. You play bass. So,
You're like, fine.
yeah. Oh,
Let's just
he's,
have fun.
yeah, he's good. Geddy Lee would be proud.
Well, listen, and don't get me started on Rush. Let's talk about the shows
Yeah.
upcoming. Where to?
June 3rd at the Ship with Matt Dines and Zay Nova opening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
Matt
to that.
Dines.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah, and with Hurricane Music, who's helping me with publicity.
Love it.
Publicity.
Yes, I received an email from them just the other day.
Yeah, no, he's awesome, and I'm looking for. And Zay Nova, I've done sound for actually, so
Awesome.
very good. And then next day we're at Fred's, June 4th, afternoon show, 1 o'clock.
You know you've
So,
made it when you're playing the afternoon spot on a
Yes,
Saturday
yeah.
at Fred's
So I
Records.
really
let me
like
tell you.
people to turn out, and it's all ages. So
Great.
really come out. You know, it'd be good to get some bodies.
And where can folks get at you to learn more in our final few seconds?
Okay, Mike Fisher, PsychePunk.com.
Boom.
That's the my website, and it has all the links to Instagram and all that. So, and I'm on Bandcamp too, both albums. The one
Sick.
I did 3 years ago.
That's right.
Psyche Punk.
That's wicked. I thank you so much for coming by to hang out. We are going to play another song towards
Thank
the end
you.
of the show. Guys, if you got those vampires in your life, you might want to buy this and drop it off to them. Thank you so much, Fisher.
Thank you, sir.
This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and wow, when you meet friends in the interverse, sometimes you're like, oh, will we ever meet in real life? And guess what? We done did it. Kelly, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we're
Yes.
finally hanging out.
I know, right? Like it's about time.
Well, about, you know, you're a big star on the go now with your show.
Thank you.
Talk to me about Nerd Mom and this whole thing. I feel like that is, by the way, a brand that's going to end up having 18 products in the future. But I mean, who am I to freak you out and try to stress you out? Let's handle one thing at a time.
Right. Baby steps.
Baby steps. So let's start with nutrition. What a topic, let me tell you, because if you deep fried this glass, I'd have a go at it. So like you're hanging out with the wrong one here. I need your help is what I'm trying
Yes,
to say.
yes.
Talk about what led you into the work that you do.
Believe it or not, it's when, long story short, because I feel like it started when I was 11 making omelets. Maybe. But, and then, you know, I went to cooking school, so I've always, I'm a foodie, right?
Okay.
But then after my daughter was born, I was looking at this nice new little person, and I got it in my head that I wanted to learn how to feed her so that, you know, I mean, she was growing up as healthy as possible, right?
Right.
And I mean, there's been so many changes too over the years. Like, this is going to age me, but or date me, but I mean, growing up, eggs were bad for you, right?
I know. Listen, I think we are contemporaries.
that's it.
I think you're younger than me, but I'll say that I remember that as well.
Yeah.
And what was that about?
Right. Well, it was the cholesterol,
Right,
you know.
yes.
But it turns out they're very, very good for you.
Yeah. Who would have
Complete
thought?
Opposite, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of information out there and a lot of misinformation, but to me, it was basically learning how to feed her the best and feed myself and my husband so that we would be healthy for our kids, you
Right,
know.
Totally. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's amazing what a noble motive and what a simple altruistic mission is to make sure your kids grow up healthy. And yet, may I pause that, and it flashed over to how so many of us with children and without are choosing certain products and types of food for all the reasons. It must blow you away, because once you know better, you do better. And once you look around and see all the people still eating in the ways that are not really going to keep them healthy and are actually leading them astray, how does that make you feel?
I don't judge. You know, I mean, that doesn't help anybody.
You're right.
The fact is, I remember having a conversation quite a number of years ago with a friend of mine, and he wasn't living here at the time. Actually, he still isn't living here.
Maybe one day.
But maybe one day. But we were having a conversation saying, oh, you know, we're eating better, you know, exercising, blah, blah, blah. And we were both in our early 20s at the time.
Right.
And then it's like, in the same sentence, he was like, oh, it's 2 Big Mac Tuesday, right? And I was like, what? He's like, it's 2 Big Mac Tuesday. I was like, what is that? Because we never had that here. I think we had, I don't know, Toonie Tuesday from...
Or a Big
something.
Mary Monday or something.
Yeah, or something like that, yeah. And he was like, well, you get 2 Big Mac meals for the price of 1. I was like, I thought you were trying to eat better,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And this is like long before I ever got into like nutrition or anything like that per se, you know? And he was like, yeah, well, it's not that bad. I'm like, go look on the website at the, you know, like, and when he saw it, he was like, oh my God, you know? So I think of that, you know, and just how, like, most people just don't know.
We don't.
You know?
We want to know.
Right?
Until we don't.
Until we don't.
Yeah.
But then the other thing too is, you know, you've got people who are working, people who are busy, and especially if you've got kids, and like your kid one day it would eat everything and then all of a sudden eat nothing, you know, and you get frustrated.
Of course.
Right? So it's like, fine, just eat the nuggets.
I see that a lot
Right.
around me.
Yeah.
I see a lot of just eat the nuggets, because you want to talk about, you know, the food analogy of being time starved. That's no joke.
It's no joke, you know.
And so no judgment. When you see it happen around you, you know it's not malicious. It's just exhaustion,
Yeah.
all the responsibilities. And so I want to dip out of this.
Yeah.
Cooking school.
Yes.
Did you love it?
Sometimes.
Was it because it was mandatory learning? You know what I mean? Or how did your passion for food and the responsibility of curriculum around food jive with you?
Well, it's kind of fun. I went to a classic French cooking school in Ottawa, right? And I learned a lot, and it was fantastic. Very stressful. I mean, I was chronically late, and my chef, I mean, I can even hear him now. Kelly, you're late. Right? I was like, I'm sorry, chef, I brought you coffee.
Perfect.
You know, 2 cream, 2 sugar?
Yeah,
Yes, chef.
yes.
Okay, you sit down.
And so that educational experience must have been very rewarding once you finished that and moved into the future. And what was that for you?
Looking back, I did actually love the experience.
Of course.
You know, I mean, like I said, I love cooking. I love, right? And I had other opportunities while I was there. I had the opportunity to study under a chef who was in Hull, Quebec. So
wow.
that was a fantastic opportunity for me. It eventually led me to opening my own restaurant for a year at the ripe age of 22. 21, 22.
Opening a restaurant at that age.
Yeah, I know. I'm crazy.
You got guts.
I got guts, yeah.
Must have been a lot of learning.
It was a lot of learning. Up until I got married and had kids and stuff, it was probably the hardest and the best year of my life.
Of course.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, you're anybody who's been in business knows you're a totally different person coming out of it than you are going into it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I'm in it.
Yeah.
And once I come out of it, I don't know what I'm going to look back on and be like, who was I during that time? Because it does challenge you and change you in a lot of ways, good and bad. And so, moving forward from the entrepreneurial journey into still working in food and nutrition, where did it take you then?
I worked, I actually went back to school and got my business degree and learned about quality and health and safety and worked in that for a bit. But now then full circle, I'm back to food again.
Exactly.
Which is my love and my passion,
So amazing.
Yeah. So it's good.
So someone's watching the show here tonight and they're like, oh my gosh, she seems so cool, and wow, what a great vast, level of experience and dedication to food and nutrition and all the things. How can you help them? And what do you like to offer based on all your experience and knowledge and amazingness?
So what I love to do is I help companies level up their employees and their leaders' health and wellness, basically so that they can be at their best at work and at home, really, right? Because
it's tied together.
Well, it is, right? You're not one person at work and another person at home,
And if you are, that's not maintainable.
Not
right?
at all.
So good luck.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I mean, it's really interesting because even your productivity can be affected up to 25% just by what you eat,
Yes. People don't realize that.
We don't realize that,
No. It's full circle for you because being a lover of food and looking at that newborn and wanting them to be healthy, and now you're able to make such impact on their attitudes and understandings of food health, and so many others who get to watch the show. So, I mean, are you proud of the impact that you are having on so many folks who tune into what you have to say and are upping their game because of it? I'm so proud, so blown away, and I'm proud of the kids because I tell you, they put up with an awful lot with me. But I'm glad to be able to help other people, see that you can cook with real food. It doesn't have to be difficult. You don't have to go out and buy everything to do it. It can be delicious and it can be fun. Of course. Well, we want to keep watching your show. Will you come back and help us out again sometime? Maybe we'll actually do you'll teach me how to make a little something every now and then, maybe. We'll see.
Yes, that'd be fun.
I love it.
Definitely.
Guys, Nerd Mom Kitchen Adventures. You're going to learn, you're going to help, you're going to grow, and that's what we're here to do. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. What a wicked show we had once again. Thank you so much to Kelly. We could have talked all night, and we almost did. She knows what I mean. I think what she does is so important because we're actually talking more about nutrition and food and what makes us well and what keeps us healthy. And I hope her show does so great and that you enjoy that, her hanging out with her kids, talking about all the good things that they're making and baking. And until then, to play us out, it is our punk godfather, the master himself, the one and only Mike Fisher. His last track we're going to hear tonight, Living in Your Car. It's almost as good as Is It Against the Law to Kill My Neighbors, another track featured on this EP. Until next time, this is Out of the Fog, and we'll see you soon. Check out our boy Mike.
If you're in Rwanda, you're not on the street, but you're living in your car. It's hard to stretch your leg. If you're in Rwanda, it's hard to keep neat. ocean bags. Once on top, things fell apart in a flash. Mr. X once loved Mrs. Y. Summer played around the house of cards. Well, they fell down separate lives, but at night they cried. I know you're feeling empty. I know you're feeling aimless. I know you're feeling shameful. That's a hand you dealt, not a hand you dealt. I know you're feeling empty. I know you're feeling aimless. I know you're feeling shameful, but that's a hand you dealt, not a hand you dealt. Our city runs down the window. It looks like a teenage strand. Someone walks by, looks in, can't understand how I came to this such a. I know you're feeling empty. I know you're feeling aimless. I know you're feeling shameful. So hand you down now, the hand you tell. I know you're feeling empty. I know you're feeling aimless. I know you're feeling shameful. That's a hand you tell now, the hand you tell, yeah.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.